Hello, everyone. This is Kirby with a short devotional thought for this Wednesday, April 1st. Over the next few weeks, myself, Steve McCarley, and maybe some others will be posting devotional thoughts on Wednesday to give you a little bit of a kickstart throughout the rest of the week. We also want to encourage you to go to our YouTube channel and church website where we have other devotional messages, Bible classes, and the worship services posted for you and others to view during our time away from one another. Just one more message before our devotional thought. You should be receiving a one call message tonight from us at church. And later tonight or tomorrow, please check your email and you will be receiving an email concerning some other church information over the next few weeks. So here we go with our devotional thought tonight. You know, we've all heard we are in unprecedented times now in our world. And that is for certain because we can't usually do the things that we normally want to do on a daily basis and in a normal manner. We're needing to wash our hands more, practice social distancing. We got to be careful not to touch our face, and many, many more things that we didn't really need to do or we didn't think about doing in times past. All this COVID-19 stuff has really thrown us off our track. However, during this time, we can stay on track with one thing. That one thing is relying upon God. Several years ago, a few trends started hitting the Christian marketing scene. There was a big push to wear WWJD bracelets and to continually say to other people, well, what would Jesus do during a certain circumstance? There was also another thing that people marketed to those in the Christian faith during that time. It came from the acrostic of FROG. Yes, frog. Well, that stood for fully rely on God. Well, during this unprecedented time in our lives, I think we all truly need to be fully relying upon God during this time. We need to have faith and trust that He is in ultimate control. So I'd like to share with you a few points regarding how we need to fully rely on God. We need to know, number one, that God has the ultimate power over all things in the world. Here we can remember the example of Daniel. Remember when he was cast into the lion's den? He knew that God was in control and would take care of him. And then when they pulled him out in the later chapters of Daniel, and specifically Daniel chapter 6, verses 22 and 23, everyone around him saw that he had not been harmed. And they knew that God was on Daniel's side. So if we realize that God is our Almighty King, He will take care of us. Number two, we need to honor God in all things that we do and have a passionate heart for His Word. We need to rely on God through all of this and not man. God will be the one who gets us through this tough time. In Jeremiah 17:5 it says, "Cursed be the man that trusts in man and makes his flesh his arm, and whose heart departs from Jehovah." You see, we need to make sure that our hearts are in the right place. Remember the example of Saul? He did not put his heart in the right place, and he wouldn't face the giant Goliath. However, David had a place for God in his heart, and he believed that God was almighty. David had faith in God that he could defeat the giant Goliath. And we too need to have faith that God is on our side, and we can defeat this giant that is in our entire world today and facing us. And finally, number three, we need to make sure we put Him and His Son first in everything we do. That is putting God and Jesus first, relying on them to show us the way during this difficult time. In everything that we do, we must keep God and Jesus first. The best way to do that is taking ourselves out of the picture and focusing upon them. We focus upon them through prayer, meditation, daily devotionals, and other scripture readings we might do throughout the day. Even though we're not in Bible study together or worship together, we can still have those daily devotionals within our own homes, meeting with our families, meeting with our husbands and wives, or maybe just doing that single devotional with yourself at home. We can pray without ceasing during this time. We can have fellowship with others by checking on them through our phone call, a text message, maybe even having a devotional over the phone with them, or maybe even FaceTiming them. Technology has been very good to all of us during this time. I wonder what Job could have done with technology when he lost everything. That's an interesting thought. However, we know that he did great without it because he put God first when he lost everything. Job fully relied upon God, and we need to also during this time. I hope these 3 principles will help you out during this tough time in our world. Remember, frog, this week and the weeks ahead. If we fully rely on God during this trying time, we're going to be okay. As I close, I would like for you to remember the 3 families that have lost loved ones that are connected to our church. Please remember the Grove family, the Freeman family, and the Jones family during this difficult time. They've not been able to say goodbye to their loved ones like you normally would, and it's been a trying time. We can pray for that day. One day we can reunite with them and share sympathy with them, and also maybe get to reunite with those loved ones one day in heaven. I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I hope this has been a little bit of help during your week. Please share with others. We look forward to seeing you again this coming Sunday, April 5th, as we go live on Facebook Live again as we broadcast our Sunday morning worship at 10:30 a.m. Also, during this time, please make sure to check out our website at www.franklinkycoc.org. And also, we've started this new YouTube channel. Just search Franklin Church of Christ on YouTube and go there, and you can subscribe to that page and see all these devotionals that we're going to be posting, also our worship services, and also the Bible class that Jim Brown has been presenting over the last few weeks. Thank you again. Remember to fully rely on God in all things that you do. May God bless us all, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great evening.